makes teams into contenders. So XG has that card going for them, but I do think Top Balance is a stronger team right now. But I had a big one for this game. However, we are in the part of the year where, I mean, we're go home. Time to show what you're made of here. And you want to get off to a strong start in this group stage. The thing about this format, this year around for Dota, right, as well, if you get off to a slow start, you get pretty heavily punished.
Yes.
Whereas if you get off to a really fast start, if you can clinch that first place in your group, that counts for a lot this year around.
You have
yes and no. I do think sometimes
you must.
Just going out there, getting first in your group, and then having to wait for days to play your next match while other teams are playing more matches, getting more information, learning, getting stronger. I feel like sometimes that actually puts you at a disadvantage.
A little bit. We've definitely had some tournaments where teams complain about not playing enough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you just dominate your group, you're going to be in good form. It's hard to see that going long for you overall. I think most teams would take that exchange on average. We do see the fissure block bottom and the enemy wave holding you throw back. No counter block for an approach, because this will send away XXS's way. He's going to take some punishment for it. And this is a XG lineup that is just all in on the team fight, man. Love to see your Earthshaker, Timbersaw, he came with a Dazzle to provide some save behind for your frontliners and give you some heal burst. This is a scary lineup for 5-on-5, especially for what Team Spirit have brought to the table here. They really need a lane winner. There's Furion here. You want to win the lanes in general. You want to play a faster early game. I think Axe is, for me, in that same category as well. An offlaner for Collapse that, yeah, the hero scales. You can farm pretty fast, but you don't want to have a good start to the game. You don't want to be behind on this hero with his timing in terms of play mail blink. And he is in a tough matchup with that fucking Dazzle as well. If you're looking at the lane tree here, this Axe lane is not going to win. Mid is going to be favored for Laurel, but not by a drastic margin. It's not some cheese lane. You really are looking to win this VA Furion lane if you're going to look at any of them.
Outside of laning phase, though, don't Team Spirit have the kind of lineup that can avoid team fighting and focus on the pickoff, which is very much their forte here. You've got Templar Assassin Axe, but it's combined with Storm Spirit Furion, right? You've got a lot of good ways to be able to push out lanes and dodge big 5-on-5.
Oh, 100%. You're looking to play the map. TA can always play this style. That's why the hero's such a dangerous pick. She can play lane domination. She can play team fights because she comes online so early because she farms basically faster than anybody else. She can give you Roshan, which is another angle into the mid game. She can play the map with the trap vision and the pickoff game. She gives you huge single target burst. Hero just kind of does it all. Doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. Doesn't have a major tempo weakness. Doesn't have a major lane weakness because no one's willing to pick offlane Viper. Maybe we'll see ATF do it at some point. Darkseer is a good answer to the TA in terms of the lane matchup and the mid-game difference. I think XG's brought some answers here, but we're still seeing Yatoro have a very strong start. And there is the Furion TP into mid, trying to deny Water Rune out from XM. Slarl a decent amount. Roshka, not the most impactful rotation we've seen on Furion, but does skew this lane even more Laurel's way, who's already pulling ahead early.
Knocks out XM for a bit more damage.
It's just so much harassment into a Timber who's not going to have that Water Rune to refill here.
Yep.
Nice little play.
It's going to put him under pressure for this next wave that goes under Terror. Even using the glyph here. Thinking about even more diving. Sprout goes out. XM instantly clears it. They're just keeping XM away from the creep wave at this point. And it's sad for the Timbersaw. Just not going to get any help anytime soon. I mean, you have a 4-position Earthshaker. I've been seeing a lot of this Earthshaker coming up. I think I was watching the C qualifiers. Talon, I think, was one of the teams who kept on picking up the Earthshaker. Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? I feel like laning phase is still pretty important in this meta, and this hero does not offer you very much in laning phase, unless you're really good. Maybe. Just trying to give some credit to Shin Q and what he can do.
I like this hero. I don't think he's that bad. I think he can be more of the exchange, you know?
Okay, well, what is Earthshaker going to do except right now?
And the Darkseer's doing the best of everybody.
Okay, yes.
He's top net worth out of the lane stage. XG's lineup. So you could argue that the Shaker has been the least of the lane either.
But my point is, what does he do to help his mid lane?
Moral support. you send the comforting messages, you know, positive comms environment. It's good fun. I do think this Furion Shaker match is a bit off. match him around the map that well, your counter game potential early is pretty limited because you're usually sacrificial on the support, on the levels on this hero. You rather just play the dual lane straight up, but if you can't do that into the TA, yeah, you wonder where the Shaker's supposed to go. You can't do this mid-fissure blocking shenanigans anymore, especially with Laurel winning mid, as we see here. It's in an awkward position, and like you said, it is the weakness of the hero, like where to find impact.
Back in on the collapse. Good. Push place to get the Jingu stacks and collapse. Will is going down tonight, though, by Rue. So that's still available. Might be Rue. It might be close. And Wilson heals himself up a little bit more. But finish him, gets the first blood.
Whoops. That is a nice first blood to pick up. Tough exchange going out here. As we will see collapse not having fun fighting into this Monkey King dazzling. This is maybe the worst lane for Axe to play into in terms of the support and the core matchup. I'm surprised he's getting as much as he is before at depth. Ame will strike here. It's going to be a recovery game for Collapse. As much as lane, get some stacks up, dodge this Monkey King, dodge the Dazzle around the map. You have a good matchup against the Dazzle in the team fight. You just do not want to interact with the Poison Clutch early.
Ooh, good attempt there, Rue. Trying to go for the deny, and the Power Rune picked up, though, by XM just in time. So, not only is he a Timber Saw with 2 levels of reactive armor, but now he's got a shield as well. So this is going to be pretty tough to put the Timber Saw the back foot like he was just 5 minutes ago.
Still well behind this TA though. That's the concern here for HP. You gave Yatoro not a completely free early game because he didn't get any kills out of it. We've seen him do a lot more damage than this in early game. He is well ahead of the pack here. And this is a scary carry to give this kind of lead to. He just takes over the game in terms of the tempo. He comes out of that jungle, he's well ahead of your enemy carry. If he gets that one fight that leads into the early Roshan with Deso, feels like the game becomes really difficult to play. Then you have to kind of split push, you have to find your marshal back there. The thing XP can do with Darkseer, Monkey King, they can always fall back on that a little, but we talked about the catch that Spirit have with the Fury on Storm Axe. It's scary to fall into a game where you have to rat against this lineup. That is not going to be fun. You see the shrines picked up away from 6 to run charges. Try and get a little aggressive, go for the deep get a facet really nice this game.
Does kind of hurt his roaming potential. The fact that the offlane is so bad for the Axe. Doesn't really have a lane to gank at this point in time.
It hurts his speed a lot. That's where I was concerned about this laning phase for Spirit. I think they're getting more out of it than I would have thought, particularly that Axe lane. This Axe is behind, but he's not debilitated. And this could have been a lane that just completely snowballed out of control. You can see this being 3 or 4-0 instead of 1-0.
Sure.
And honestly, that's a win. That's a win in my book if I'm Team Spirit here.
Yeah.
Ame still has good matchups, though. It is worth noting. Like, this Axe matchup is good for him the entire game. The TA matchup is one we see a lot of carry players enjoy with the high armor and the Wukong. And you have an extra stun for the Storm, which counts for a lot in the later portions of that 30-40-minute period where you're trying to get any sort of lockdown where you are. Not deny that haste from him, and that is going to be your death, Jinkyu. Is to be as a shaker with no boots in the middle of the river.
Yeah. Particularly with the haste from spawn, that is just a bit of bad luck. One of the problems for Axe, sometimes the lane is hard, you just backlane, right? Behind the tier 1 tower, just cut down creeps behind the tower, but Monkey King, you can't ever do that too. This hero's way too mobile.
And Dazzle. You can't do it against Dazzle.
That's also true. Yeah.
That's the problem. These heroes completely shut off your lane mechanics for you. You can play the stack game, and there are a couple stacks going out in the jungle. We've already gone through them, and that is the power of this hero. You can always fall back on that. Same with the Darkseer here. XXS is getting definitely more out of the lane right here. Levels of like a full level and a half ahead. Which is nice for where the Darkseer is. He doesn't need the best game in terms of the network, he just wants levels. So you get in these team fights, you have match go. You have some more points in the surge vacuum. You can set up the shaker. Jinkyu can come back in this game with nothing if there's a big vacuum into Echo.
A little opportunity here with one grenade. Free kill onto Maposhka, who's trying to take the lane while the Templar Assassin was doing a little bit of those ancients. Yatoro is level 9. This is Another thing about the safe lane Templar Assassin, even better than it was perhaps previous metas, because now you've got an Ancient Camp that's right next to you. It reminds me of the old days when we had mid-Templar Assassins, and the Ancient Camp was right next to mid lane you could stack for yourself.
That was a very broken patch.
That was very broken, and you've kind of got a similar situation here for Templar Assassin.
Not as bad.
Sure, not as bad.
Especially when Brood was doing it.
Yeah, yeah. 10 minutes in, 2,000 net worth lead for Team Spirit, and they have a healthy Ancient stack clear through as well.
Dyer's
I don't know when our Axe is going to be able to do that. Prowlers are kind of a menace for those more melee-style offlaners to clear through.
A little static for Spirit.
Looks like they're kind of baiting collapse here with Laurel, who is kind of playing in the jungle there. They're seeing if Monkey King really wanted to chase after this Axe again.
I don't know if this is me yet, but I feel I'll take it this every time.
And that's why XG two-man smoke up, bring the Timber Saw in, but collapse, the damage is already done. He's already cut the wave, he's backed out, Laurel's back to mid.
Trying to give him a Poshka space on this Furion to get level 6 in that vessel up. But it does open up the smoke move here for XG. They will get a really nice ward out. Have to worry about counter rotation from the Storm Spirit, but this stack is massive right here. And they let it spawn. I mean, if you're XG, this is so much network on the map. You do not take this fight. It's too juicy to turn down. You have 6 on the Shaker, Echo Slam available. You could absolutely bring XSS to this play. He's already level 9 on the bugs here.
I mean, I like the fact that they're bringing Jin Q to it. I think they do want to contest, but they want to make sure they have all their heroes to contest, because this is such a crucial part of the game right here.
I would bring 5.
Damage to threaten in here. Next up, kind of blocked down. A little awkward. Timber chase back down to the low ground.
There's the
Extreme now brought in XXS and Ame top through the trees to cut in from behind as well. He pops right on top of the Axe there for a second. Almost got his tree cut down, but picking up on the goes out, collapse. Only takes so much damage from that wound.
He's gonna echo the stack.
They're gonna go for it. But he finally does die. His shell range wears away. One hero in exchange for this giant stack. Collapse. He finds the extra one. Jin will die as well.
That's a little close to not being worth it. See what the gold exchange is. This isn't going to show all the gold that went into Jin Q there. He got almost 1,000 off that. Super worth it for the Shaker. Not as much for XG overall, as now you're getting those to the Axe and the TA. You remember, Yatoro is still having an absolute beast of a game here.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that this offset his net worth is achievable.
He's very careful not to extend on collapse, because he knows there's some heroes around.
Yeah, he's really scared there. Worried about
execution. They still are naturally putting themselves in a position where it's likely they're going to get punished.
Wasn't facet up for me. That play is like 10 seconds too slow, and that sounds like a minor reason, but when you're making those types of plays against the top of the world, it has to be very gritty. They made this initial foray with the Timber. It didn't work. He backs on a little. Then they bring the Dark Seer. Sun goes out. No one's in that area anymore. You lose a lot of value at that moment. You do get the Timber on the stack. It's just when you make that attempt into the triangle like that, that's the best position for Radiant to defend early. You have to make it very quickly and catch them off guard. I feel like they were a little slow on it. You get something of what you came for, but the downside is, man, your Timber Saw. He's the one guy who suffered the most in that fight because he took the brunt of the blow and went down. XM has no game right now. He is 1,000 behind the Axe. That was supposed to be the hero that was going to have the roughest lane. So big question mark right now is where is XM going to get the network to come back in this game and find impact? He's the Timber Saw. Your spells are always powerful. Yeah, she's cooking with something.
He usually needs to be paired with survivability, and if he's underleveled, underfarmed, and and he's matched up against the Spirit Vessel, and he's dealing with, like, pretty good amount of magic damage between them, whereas the Storm, yeah,
absolutely
Bottom tower
can rely
is
on
under
Brave a
attack.
little and some wars from the dark ship, but honestly, Timbersaw's not even the biggest hero to buff up the board. Most of the time, he just survives on his own ability and mobility on itself. So giving this guy Greaves is okay, but
Radiant's bottom
nothing
tower
to write
is
home
under
about.
attack.
So you're gonna have to make do with their spell fighting power, right? Get some vacuums, get some walls going, get some combos going, take advantage of the fact that Spirits don't have a lot of control for the fight outside of the Axe Call and the Vortex. Maybe fight under a Calling, that's about it. And no real auras of their own. Downside of this Furion buildup, a lot more aggressive firepower, especially with the full vessel flying out for Oshka. Big timing for him. You can get some fights going with this. I'm going to use it earlier rather than later. As Ame eyeing him up, would love a kill to help him get to the Radiance. That was not his finest execution.
What?
I guess he zoned him off that small camp.
I guess so. I mean, he lost gold on that exchange. There was a creep wave he could have been farming.
It's the first game of the game.
Maybe
Everybody's warming up a little.
Maybe he's a little nervous being on the same stage with Yatoro.
Oh, that's true, yeah. They do have some history here.
Yeah, it's been a minute since they got together.
Wouldn't say it like that.
Just, sometimes.
He's
Been
finished.
a while.
Dyer's
60
middle
minutes.
tower is under attack.
Not too bad, all things considered. Not the fastest, all things considered, about in that middle pocket. But is it good enough?
It's good enough to beat the 10K net.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to.
Yatoro's already rocking.
Like
16
this.
minutes.
You look at the level disparity as well. He's almost over 15 already. Yeah. His monkey is still at level 11. He's still looking for the second point of the ultimate. He's blown by all the time right now. Still has Storming Aerial he can unlock at that level 3 or 4. Gotta look towards this Roshan if you're XG. You cannot give up a
Dyer's
fight
middle
that leads into
tower
these
is under
objectives
attack.
when your lineup is supposed to be strong around the 5-on-5. That's the danger in this game. If you get picked off, if you don't get to even play that 5-on-5, you're going to regret your decisions around the map right now. You need to abuse Darkseer Monkey King in your lineup. Maybe just shake your feet off the map.
You know what I
Continue
really
to get
like?
the lanes in and stall this game out.
When you're this far ahead of Templar Assassin, I would love to see him buy the shard. I think that the next objective is Roshan to ensure that the enemy team can contest you if you get 3 or 4 traps set up around a Roshan pit with the shard.
I can buy it.
Extreme do not have the heroes that shrug off the silence from Templar Assassin.
No, it's a
They just
really
don't.
good silence game, especially if you catch the Dazzle or the Monkey randomly and just all in them with the Axe Call. Will Yatoro buy it? That's the question.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
but
he's got bigger things.
he
He's
wants
fine. Yep.
Hurricane Pike, he wants Nullifier, he wants BKB. He's got it all queued up.
I get it all this game.
Double damage.
Feel good for him as
He's got 10 more items alongside that quick buy. That's pretty good.
right now he probably thinks, what's gonna stop me? I'm invincible. I'm so far ahead. They can't keep up with me. I'm the better carry. I've been telling you so.
For XM. But finally he chops down the Timbersaw. The Timbersaw is at its fight, and Shin-Q is dropping pretty damn fast. The vision turnaround, but it looks like Clap's gonna be the one to die instead. A double kill for XXS. A fight, a defensive one that works out pretty well for Extreme, even if it doesn't work out for XM.
Huge positional play by Jin-Q, just being there at the right time. He went the early shard on the Shaker, not the blink. Pays off in that fight. The Denstrup's chain stunning on that Storm go. Right time for the Dazzle to come in. You beyond your Supersaw, you elongate this fight, and you're able to collect that Q on the return. That's massive for XG. But again, that's the fight where and this game just starts to spiral really quickly. Instead, Yatoro hooking up the tower mid. You will get another power rune off this, but you're not getting that impact out of the TA right now, who, yeah, you're still really far ahead of this Monkey King. The XG just won a pretty decent team fight, and that gets them a lot of time to get to the next set of items here, which is what they want, especially for this Timbersaw. X7 can survive and the axe goes down. You'll take that trade every time.
Yeah.
This BKB collapse is going to be important, by the way. This is an axe game where you kind of need BKB. You need it early on so you can guarantee you get the culling blades off. You saw here, his culling blades got stalled up multiple times in this fight.
Yeah, if he could have killed that Timber Saw on the first blink and used that movement speed to, you know, recenter whatever he wants to do, I feel like that's an easy win for Team Spirit.
Also an easy way to just cut through this grave consistently. You don't want to go all in for this anti-grave play and then get caught up by something.
Yeah.
And just have that go wrong. So this BKB for collapse is super important. They're going to prioritize it in this game. And that window currently exists for XG to continue fighting. This is where you would want to ramp up the momentum. You have the Greaves on the Darkseer. You have your first aura item. The Monkey King with the Radiance can easily join any of these fights. You always have damage with Timber Saw. But you want to fight before BKBs come out. You can lock down the Storm. He does have an Arcane Rune for this fight. This is incredibly deadly. XG to fight into.
Here the pull-up Fisher, and there it is. Part of the strength of Jin Q's choice of the shard. They've got great long-range stuns, and they can chain them.
That's massive. That is an absolutely massive find here. As Spirit just left, wondering what are we supposed to do? You have all this strength on your Toro, and nobody uses it if your Arcane Storm got nothing off. Massive find from Ame. They get the better move here.
The seeds of fortune.
Well, now we're settled into what we talked about earlier, right? You're gonna have to stay away from 5-on-5s.
Oh, it's
You're gonna have to play the map.
Feel spooky right now until you have some more survivability. And that shard went to the Timber Saw. So now XM, he is completely recovered in this game. That was a massive move for him.
You think his shard really means that much to Timber Saw?
It feels good. I mean, it's extra damage, it's extra net worth. He was already recovering in this game. He's already
Dire middle tower is under attack.
I guess I'm
ahead a lot.
grounded on the That was the other option, right?
By explosive. Short back now. I mean, 70 PPS. Get some slow.
We're gonna have a small window of time, by the way, where this aghanim scepter is even going to make him tanky. Because Yatoro wants a nullifier. If he uses nullifier as his next item, like Spirit find their opening for a successful team fight.
Or rather, XG just kind of fumbled their way into a fight that they did not bring everybody to. Tim was not even there. That's your big frontliner, and it gives you Toro. You're able to get a fight, almost gets on the hook. Get a couple of misses, but did not want to give up in this game. So that is straight to the Spirit. 20. This time around, he kind of decelerated for Timber Saw. Come back. That nullifier is 1,000 away if Yatoro wants to commit for it. I feel like you were doing a decent job in this game as XG at not giving away that bad team fight. And then you just stumbled into it.
I mean, playing against Team Spirit, it's going to happen eventually.
Especially on the Furion, though. Like, this is the target we saw insta buyback from Apochka. This is not the guy you want to start on if you're not aware of where the rest of the team is. Because that's going to give a free fight to Storm. It's going to give a free fight to DA. And it's going to give a return jump. I don't like the fact that he threw out real close to that Furion. I don't like the fact that he ended up in a kind of awkward position with the Darkseer, right? If you're able to poke him down from a long range and not commit, it's a different story there. Off more than you can chew, and this nullifier's already done. EKB done for the axe. Spirit are swinging back here. They're going to hit a really nice time. Not a lot of answers. These two big items coming out on the side. Spirit here.
Yeah, the team fight advantage is out the window when you have an Aegis on the Templar Assassin. And it's not like that BKB pickup on the Monkey King is going to feel nearly as good as the BKB on the Axe when he's dying to physical damage from the Templar Assassin.
Or is from Darkseer, I guess, just to buff up this team fight. I don't think Ame's items are going to help in the direct battle against the TA in the short term.
Sure. What is XXS's items currently?
Just Greaves, Vanguard. He's looking for potential Lotus here. Titan's done. this fight game. It's dealing some of the storm damage, but again, doesn't help you with the TA problem. Crimson Guard is okay this game. Also not the greatest the TA, so his auras are nice here, but they're not the end all be all. You see them trying to get any sort of catch. You just can't chase that.
He does not want to be in this game.
You just can't chase that ball. After you get from there, now you're in a 4-5 situation. This is
but Jingyu dies to the right-hand side. Ame fighting for it, trying to get the die back. Something you can't get it. On the way out, he's going to have to bomb his BKB and just run. Good TP's out.
Can't TP here.
He's still going to get caught. He's still going to be called. Glass pulls him back into the rest of the team. All he can do is probably strike him, but everybody else on extremes is dead.
An amazing vacuum. Enough of time as your AoE's already gone. But you wouldn't have to have the shaker up for that moment. Nonetheless, it's again getting baited into putting damage on the Furion, not the target you want to be putting it out on. The Wukong's in an awkward position, and so much of that fight starts with another awkward chase. Just can't get any kind of positional advantages with this lineup that has so much single target burst and lockdown. It's not going to work out for you. You need to be baiting them into your AoE, the other side of that coin. Especially during the Aegis period too. Yeah. That sort of chase is just cannot go here. It's gonna guarantee the BKB for Yatoro.
I like that Maposhka capitalized on this situation, teleporting that deep into the back line, using the shard to get vision, right? Like he might see where the Monkey King is in the trees and maybe cut down that tree, or he spots the Dazzle because of that vision, right? There's really a lot of opportunities, and they obviously saw the Dazzle and went straight to him.
The hero's just so annoying. He's
tanky.
He's kind of hard to kill. His spells are obnoxious enough you have to worry about him, but you don't want to focus him. Yeah, that's the real strength of this hero. And we're seeing this BKB Radiance. It's a good Radiance game. The evasion is good. He's fairly durable, but he lacks the attack speed to deal the damage and build up the Jingu stats. Particularly if he gets caught later in the fight where he has to man fight the axe of the Tia. This build is kind of bad against the axe because you get called and you don't really end up building Jingu. You just get dragged in the enemy team.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I like the axe. He's got the falling back.
Dire's bottom tower.
Just one more thing to mess with the Timber Saw.
So I will say this tier 3 neutral item slot can be really awkward.
Yeah,
I feel like if you're a damage dealer and you get some of the the Shiv, okay, sure. If you get Whisper the Dread, you're a spellcaster, sure, but it can be awkward depending on what you roll. Gale Guard is, I think, the only one that's universally fine. Like if I get Gale Guard on almost anybody, I'm happy. But in some of these situations, you end up taking the Jedi bag, so to say, just because there's nothing else. At least it does some damage. I think it's still really close range, though. You have to watch where you get in the fight that quite a lot of heroes, as Ame trying to get the catch will not catch him. Working towards Scotty. A lot of extra HP on this monkey if he gets there. Something for Spirit to think about. They feel very content right now, just getting the simple BKB timing up. And there it is.
This is nasty. Punishing him for the D ward and maybe getting Whisper gold. Echo does perhaps get a turnaround kill on a Maposhka. Slowing him down a bit. Name will be able to chase him down. Support for support, and the Shrine of Wisdom was taken by Law, so that's gonna hurt.
Meanwhile, Yatori's just taking your tower top. Yeah, that pressure building here. These cores are starting.
23?
Yeah, he is massive, and that's triple BKB done. So these cores are going to play really confident on the lanes. They're going to play really deep because there is no BKB.
Catching Ame. Follow-up to it. The BKB goes out from Ame. Ame seeing if he could jump away to the trees, and he is able to do so successfully.
Dire's middle
I don't think
tower
collapse
is under
mines.
attack.
That's an 8-second down.
Yeah.
A little bit adding up. We go that Kaya build up as well. Looking for the big pulling blades here.
It's pretty close to mag. That adds a lot more team fight to this lineup.
That's their one AoE control outside of the big calls, so that does help a lot. Also help you follow up on the guarantee follow up, particularly if you catch a couple of heroes. It would just be deadly. It actually get aggressive. That's the issue into these BKBs. It's really hard to smoke and look for the fight. Because your jump is everything, and if you don't have vision for that, you're going into TA traps. You're going into Furion, who's just going to eat the gank and then buy back. Yeah, he's a moving forward. It's tough to aggressively smoke here as XG and look for the fight, even when you take the time. Because the defensive capabilities from Spirit are so strong around their map right now.
Dire's
BKB for XM, you have a little more oomph to push ahead and find into some of these areas. And try to contest the next road, for example. Can spawn in 30 seconds here. That with, particularly if you pick up Gem, which they will. It's a big investment here. They're going to put it on XM, let him frontline, try and push out on the map right now. You have to be ready to take this fight because you cannot afford to lose Gem, and you cannot afford to lose another fight to another 8 points to your Toro. Especially with Scotty going on, he hits level 20. It's upgrade for him.
That's pretty much the window you're going to get near Extreme Gaming to try and cut down this 12,000 net worth lead for Team Spirit. Finding Laurel. They found the strike, followed up by the Fisher. Chain stunned up. They use the Echo Sam to ensure it. They got a big pickoff. Now, what can Extreme do with it? 70 seconds on the clock. No Storm Spirit. And Roshan is available.
It feels like deja vu. This is the only other kill that has been super successful for XG, and it was on Laurel when he had an Arcane Rune. And guess what? Laurel, he gets picked off when he has an Arcane Rune. Maybe you should stop picking up Arcane Rune. That's really not worked out for the lad.
It's consideration for sure.
I don't think any mid-storm would ever not pick up an Arcane, but more game to do it in, it'd be version Q if I saw that. So more range added to that sort of like game chain stun pick-off potential. Shabby. Can they translate it into more map control, especially with Roche being up? The fact they didn't just go check this pit, try and all in it. Their Roche is pretty slow, but if you don't get lanes out here that can set up the next play, it's going to be tough to assail that position.
Yeah, it just feels so bad, the fact that we haven't been able to get anything more off this timing. Storm Spirit's now back up.
I really wish you could have gotten at least one more pick off there, or on the Spirit side of the map a little, get some extra D-warding. All you got was a couple lanes. Fall to your Jet.
And damage could be quickly picked up by Xin-Q. Will Xin-Q get punished? No. Team Spirit, they don't want to cross the river. Danger that lies on this side of the shore.
That was pretty aggressive. Not punished. There's smoke from XG. They're going to try and force it here.
And smoke from Team Spirit. They do have the advantage of Spirit having a global hero and the Furion, but he's going to make sure he doesn't get maybe he's going to be jumping Pulling him out of position. He doesn't care. He's got a BKB. He is just frontlining for now. His team struggling to catch up to, though. Ame really didn't get a good opportunity for Wukong spam. Holding on to the trees. Sees an opportunity for the ultimate. Now XXS. And kills two.
And Spirit route XG here. This
The Dazzle gone. Ame does what he can. Kills collapse. BKBs teleports out, but the fight is lost from Extreme. Maybe except he kills Maploshka. No, okay. Stayed by the Gale Guard.
Spirit's so tanky.
He's so aggressive, man.
Again, it starts with him going down, but of course he has buyback. So his kill doesn't need a lot here for XG. Xin-Q was able to dodge that initial jump from Laurel, and that's what lets Extreme Gaming take that longer fight there. Fast reaction time, you're able to bail him out. The Timbersaw front line is not secure because of Roshan. That's this is going to be another Aegis going to Yoro. TA has yet to go down this. Going in for him as well. Run here, but they are late to the party.
overall game, still a problem for Extreme. 9K lead for Team Spirit, so it's been cut down a little bit, but you have to imagine during this Aegis window, they will escalate things.
Both carries just hit 25 as well. You got the meld bash for Yatoro. You're gonna get the extra Wukong ring.
Ame
Pretty important
up.
balance. I mean, he got a lot off that fight, honestly. He killed the Furion effectively solo. He got the axe effectively solo again at the end of that fight. There's a lot of XP going his way. Still having a very good game here, 6-2. Maybe they wanted it to be a bit more snowballing with the lane matchup, but
Could be interesting. The team
tower
Spirit are only sitting here as 3 for the Wisdom Shrine. And Ame goes for the punish on the Lord. This time he's getting cut down on the high ground, giving them vision, spots a bunch of heroes coming, and they back out. So quick kill, take the shrine,
Dire's courier has
and
been
retreat
killed.
back to their base, it seems, as full fight. There's a lot to get a kill, and they still don't feel the confidence. They go back to their base.
I mean, another big factor was they did hold on to their gem in that fight. At least when you're making these plays, you get a little D-ward action, you can give a little security. You don't have to spam the sentries everywhere. And you can always turn on a dime with the vision control. You get that one back to the shaker stuff. That fight's over. You cannot clump in this game for Spirit. Especially if the BKB durations start to get low. These start to go down to 6 seconds here. XXS, his window will be a lot larger at that point. Heroes can survive some of the initial burst at least. Map control is everything for XG in this game, where you can place those high ground wards and fight around them. This is an Aegis I thought they were going to try and push more with, because if you don't push with this Aegis,
Yeah, when are you pushing?
not a lot changes for you.
Well, I mean, let's talk about late game, because it does feel like this game is beginning to stall a bit. Team Spirit do not seem overly anxious about ending the game quickly. What does that late game look like?
Storm catching up in network. Right now, it doesn't look as intimidating because Storm gets top 2 net worth, and he has AoE pull. He has like Plasma
Radiant
plus
are
Gags
scanning.
plus the Shivas, all this extra spell amp coming through, right? He can still get 2 spell amp items. That damage is going to ramp considerably, and then you're looking at potential double call from Collapse with the Gags, which is his go-to. He also got the Zune Bloodright for a little larger AoE on these calls. Still a lot of scale in the tank for Spirit. But a lot of it for me revolves around Laurel. At least getting 1 or 2 1 fights in that period to pull ahead of these other cores.
Right, because Yatoro is tapping out in a way.
Yeah, he's kind of done. I mean, he just picked up Swiftblink. He's already slotting in BKB to
Dire's
backpack
middle
to use this
tower is
Aegis.
under
You can get Ag Shard and Moon Shard, but like, kind of it.
You get Unleashed Monaco. That's
Just actually 2-shot shouldn't kill. Easy as you like.
should have been standing there, I guess.
Yeah, shouldn't have been standing inside your base.
Should have been in the fountain.
Dire's
Or at least
top
had that
tower
gem up
is
on the
under
front line.
attack.
Easy high ground war post to snipe. Now you're without that shaker for a long time, as that's still
Dire's
buyback
top tower
death
has fallen.
earlier. Got
Dire's
expended.
top barracks are under attack.
The Hex from Poshka. They easily just come in here and initiate this fight for the team as cracks down, banner plays. No contest from
Dire's top
XG.
barracks has
Take
fallen.
the team fight without your AoE control.
As you said, it's all on the brink when it comes to a vacuum echo.
You need the shaker.
If you don't have your shaker, then you've got no combo.
A vacuum doesn't mean anything in this game, just a follow-up.
Yeah.
You can concede a lot here if you're XG, have a blink available. The Orleans are getting shoved in by the Furion. Still 40 seconds on the clock to Aegis. Maybe not a long time, but it feels like a long time with the amount of damage Yatoro's pumping out right now.
Yeah, he's killing that building pretty dang fast.
Of course, you can always just slot the BKB in anyway, so I don't think he's too shy to really down. Timing right now.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Another arcane room long. Okay, this is an opening for Extreme Gaming. I've seen this before. This is XG's time to smoke and kill him before he gets anything off.
He has the gem too. That would be a really nice pickoff. Let's see it, XG.
Now, the reflection is, does XG know he has the arcane room? Because if they don't, they can't make that play.
Right.
They gotta get vision on it.
Do you think they knew the previous times?
No. fair point. They probably didn't.
No, they probably
So the fact
didn't.
they don't know
they're
is better.
ignorant to the fact of the arcane rune is a good thing. It means they're going to
Radiant
magically stumble upon him
are
again.
Yes. The classic 3-time ignorance.
I mean, what do you always say? Luck is a skill, right, Avery?
Okay, first off, I only say that because that is what Toronto Tokyo said. He's no longer on this team, so maybe he wasn't so lucky in the end.
Maybe you should have focused more on the skill and less on the luck.
I didn't say that. That was you. I have a brand to maintain.
That's right, that was me. Avery Silverman said that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Austin.
To Tokyo, if you're out there listening, challenge you to come confront me. Hotel lobby, Avery Silverman.
So what's your room number? You should throw that out there too.
Shivas picked up. What else we got?
Pressure for the last is the big one. Not really. I mean, you're just looking for survivability here for XG. Try and hold the base, get some sort of crazy late game turnaround. You don't have BKB control. You don't have a save for the axe jump. And this axe jump is definitely right now when you have two of them. Well, I guess his mana capacity is pretty low.
17 to 12. 1,000 net worth lead. And Team Spirit seem content. Hold the map. Wait for another Roshan.
May as well at this point. If you didn't end the game with that Aegis, you're not going high ground without it, especially when you control this much. And you know XG are going to be pressured to likely fight you around that Rosh, which is way better for you than if you have to fight them just going straight high ground into buyback. What is their buyback situation? Take a look at it. It is not good.
Nada.
Yeah, it's not great. Buybacks. I don't think Aghanim will even hold this one. Like, how useful is his buyback in this game?
Yeah.
In any situation that is not high ground defense. In the high ground defense, it's useful. Outside of that, I don't think it's useful at all in this game. I think the fight will be decided before he's able to make it back. Yeah, he's going to buy out. I agree with this 100%. And the rest of your team doesn't have it. You're fighting outside the base.
Potentially, but Rue did see it coming. He's already popped his ultimate. He doesn't have BKB to TP out though, so can't do anything here. Nice dead shot, but Falmer Strike will still find him. He is gone. So, another time that Extreme Gaming have found a pickoff right around the time that Roshan's going to spawn.
Is it close enough? It's like every time they've gotten this, it's 30 seconds too early. Which, I mean, you can't. Beggars can't be choosers
Well, last
here.
time it wasn't 30 seconds too early. Roshan had spawned already when they got that kill.
That's true. Turned into an unfavorable
They
fight.
just couldn't do anything with it. The Nature's Prophet. You're talking about the scale of the Storm Spear. It's not the Nature's Prophet who's going to start scaling into a core.
Oh, absolutely. He's already a core.
Scythe, Aghanim Scepter, like he's huge.
Can absolutely do some massive damage, backline disruption, especially if you find that that one is the Hex. Just be able to axe jump the fuck. Labs does not have to worry about Paulson too much at this point. That is his Laurel.
Surprising that Team Spirit are giving as much room around the pit as they are. Roshan, get to be a bit. We had gotten to that potential Roshan spawn point, but it looks like it's still going to be still.
Triple monocle for Spirit as well. So that's just, I see that a lot. That's a lot of extra range and cast range across the lineup that is trying to space the fight around the lineup that punishes you for clumping. Yeah. So I actually like that, because this just means your spacing is naturally going to be 100 range better across the board, right? That adds up. Sure. Makes it harder to find these vacuum echoes. Monocle a little overpowered. EP.
Think it's the most broken of the tier 4s?
I think we see it. I think it is.
I think the OG staff sometimes, like in the right games, that one's a little broken. But
yeah,
it doesn't happen very often.
It's hard for me to say it's broken. I just think it's the most consistent. Like, I think we see Monocle a lot. It's almost good on anybody.
Sure.
It's pretty hard to turn it down. Where some of these are a lot more situational. We'll see a smoke from Spirit as they gear up for this Rosh. It is in the bottom pit right now. We're looking for the fight into the objective. MKB done for Yatoro to try and pierce this Ame butterfly.
You know, I miss being at Dota Lands, where we had players screaming. You guys get a good call. Perfect pickoff. Got the dazzle. And it's going to make things really difficult for Extreme. Spotted Ame. He needs to be able to get out of this. But now he's been signed. So he's looking to get down. Balance for him. After that fight against Yatoro. one buyback being used by Extreme. They've got another one still in the tank in XM. They may have to use it here just to hold their base as Team Spirit are not backing up for Roshan.
Middle barracks
Now.
Actually just did not expect that play at all. Completely caught them off guard. The matchup goes way too much here.
Dire's middle
And the
barracks
second you start to fall one by one, the buybacks are just not. They're not too tempting now. How do you get back this fight to impact it? Everybody split up. That's the exact type of fight and positioning Spirit won. Couple skirmishes happening at different points. There's no big clump. There's no big turnaround potential. If you're GQ, you're going, who am I supposed to start? That's gonna be awkward.
Keep him inside the pit, but that's not really gonna work. And now Roshan's got the super speed. Have you seen this though? Teams, in order to get Roshan to get to the other side faster, will intentionally run into the Roshan so he gets to the other side. They gotta finish it off fast before the revives happen.
Well, you're slow, so you can't keep up with it.
Dire are scanning.
It's true.
So, Extreme have a chance to be able to contest XM. Barrel into the pit quickly with his aghanim scepter, but we'll find the pit is empty now.
But how do you get this favorable jump? That's been the problem for XG this entire game. Who leads the charge and who do you even want to lead it on? Only chainstone potential is if you commit the shaker. At the same time, you have to hold the shaker to win the team fight off the back.
Well, they don't know it, but right now, it would be nice. At least the one person who does not have buyback.
I mean, you
Team
have
Spirit.
to take the fight now if you're XG or you have to back.
From Collapse. Now Collapse at half HP, he's got the extra life. It's here twice. And he jumps back in, goes down the skill side, no fire up. And comes back in. Can they keep the heroes inside this one? Boxman, he's doing his best. He's already taken out the takes him out easy. 2 down on the side of Extreme, 2 deaths for Ame. And that is the game done, Avery.
And by the time of Hoshka, he's probably going to take Megas off just the treants anyway. We were in a lose-lose situation. That game spiraled really quickly. You did not get that massive 5-on-5 kill over the mid